Hi guys, I have 3 videos in the pipeline coming for the calculator, for the synthesizer and for an electronics project that you can build on your wonderful breadboard. So, while you wait for these videos to be completed, I am motivated to create some discussion today. Dave Ramsey, Graham Stephan, Success Secrets TV, and all these other motivational and investing channels on YouTube that generate millions and hundreds of thousands of views. These channels generate this kind of viewership because everybody is looking to get rich. Even in the coronavirus days, they want to get a leg up over the rest of humanity in stockpiling security upon this earth. Now let's deal with the internet investors and the ones that are on internet trying to sell cryptocurrency and all sorts of fast internet investments. This is not investments at all. Even though the company may be named an investment company, it is nothing more than gambling. All of this internet cryptocurrency stuff is gambling. How do we decide what is gambling and what is investing? Well, conventional investing is where you actually have an idea, goods, product and services, and you're actually creating employment for people and producing a product that's useful to humanity. That is proper investing. When you talk about this internet currency, it has absolutely no intrinsic value and it does nothing but create greed in the part of people. So just like buying gambling tickets, it looks like it's going to be on an up, so it surges and it sinks as demand increases and decreases. But this demand is based only on greed. There is actually no physical benefit to this currency at all. Yes, you will say, well, people can buy and pay for goods and services with it, but that is the gambling proceeds after they've won something. It doesn't actually generate jobs except maybe 2 or 3 jobs in an office in Hong Kong. And it doesn't actually create anything useful, solve any scientific problems, or do anything useful in the world. It just fuels and is run basically on people's greed. So it's very, very similar to betting on the races, on the pools, or on the football, or whatever. Minimalist lifestyle that Graham Stephan would have you to embrace, where you do all of this wonderful investments and you live on very little, and therefore, because you're total minimalist, you don't have many expenses, you do all cost cutting, and you're able to accumulate, or hopefully accumulate, large sums of money so that you have the questionable dignity of being able to say that you're a millionaire or multimillionaire or whatever. For these kind of people, the only thing that I can say is, I hope you have children or somebody that you really treasure to leave it all to after you kick the bucket. Because it seems to be no particular advantage in accumulating millions of dollars just to be able to say you're a millionaire and you have security upon this earth, when you don't actually enjoy the fruits of all your labors and efforts. Unless your intrinsic joy comes from just stockpiling money, which apparently seems to be an addiction in itself, what is the actual purpose of this? Money is just an exchange for goods and services. And at the very best, you should be using your money to help charitable causes and improve the lot of the poor and underprivileged on this earth. That would be the right and biblical use of money. And at the worst, you should be actually using your money to enjoy yourself. So the idea of stockpiling this money for some future people to spend who didn't even work for it is actually a misguided notion, although many people buy into this idea. Now let us analyze Mr. Dave Ramsey. He's our next gentleman that we want to analyze. Dave Ramsey's show is a very popular call-in radio program or television program where people call in, and this guy is supposed to be advising them financially. And he's like Judge Judy. He entertains you with some of these people that call in with ridiculous debts and who have made a complete mess of their life. And as he says, and which I agree, the formula for accumulating money is extremely simple. You don't need a university degree. You basically don't need anybody to tell you at all. It's plain common sense. You make more than you spend and you accumulate a surplus. It's as simple as that. And the only cleverness that comes around in this whole equation is what do you do with your surplus and how can you make your surplus grow as fast. And you have genuine investing or you have gambling, risky gambling. The more you gamble with your money, the bigger the returns might be. But obviously the risk of losing it is greater. And that is really what it's at. That isn't rocket science either. The more gamble you take, the more you're likely to lose it, but the more you're anxious to make. The more you may possibly make. So basically your only decision is how big a gambler are you going to be. Christians shouldn't be gambling at all. The soldiers gambled away Christ's clothes at the foot of the cross. The gambling, the idea of getting rich with minimal investment should not even be in a Christian's vocabulary, period. So there's nothing wrong with a certain amount of wise investing, but at the end of the day, it's all about balance. God does not expect us to hoard up large sums of money to take care of any possible future eventuality. He says, trust Him. We're supposed to put our trust in God, not in uncertain riches. And the idea of spending your time accumulating riches is not really what Christians should be about anyway. They're supposed to be about righteousness and getting right with God and with their fellow man and doing good deeds and rich in good works on this planet and laying up for yourself treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt. Now, according to Mr. Ramsey, if you have expenses greater than your income, there's only two things you can do, and probably you should do all two, which is reduce cost cutting, reduce your expenses, and increase your income. And he accuses people of downright laziness and not working hard enough or generating enough income. Well, admittedly, you should be looking for opportunities to make money in this coronavirus, and you do have to have some kind of an income, and it probably is wise to cut costs, because if you can't cut your costs to match your income, then you're going to be headed for disaster sooner or later. But why not turn these things over to God in the first place? God is able to direct your life and to bring you the necessary income that you need to meet the expenses that you absolutely have to have. So seek His wisdom and guidance in both not only the things that you do to generate the income, but also whatever you spend the income on. It's all about loving and pleasing God, not pleasing yourself. You don't count in the equation. What it says is that God will take care of you if you put Him first. That really is the simple message of Christianity. Putting Him first in your hearts instead of other idols, and trusting Him to take care of you. The psalmist says, I have never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and giveth, and his seed is blessed. Better is the little that a righteous man hath than the riches of many wicked. I'm saying to you today, people, Dave Ramsey can't help you. Graham Stephan can't help you. Sucking up these shows is not going to help you at all. Put your trust in the Lord, particularly in these uncertain times. The coronavirus has brought the entire planet to its knees. It has altered humanity's living conditions irreversibly. What you're going to see now in the next few years is increased confusion, famine, pestilence, wars, as predicted in the Bible. Earth has passed its golden age. Get with the plan. Your only security is in God. Will you not put God as the center of your life today and trust Him to look after you? I guarantee you, if you're trying to put yourself on the throne and make all the decisions for yourself, you will come to a bad end. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next video.